This is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad, and we're reading from Madhya-lila, chapter 13, the Lord's dancing at Ratha-yatra. Now let's start with verse number 59. Jaritara kripa se janibara pare kripa bina brahmarika janibare mare. Jaritara kripa se janibare pare kripa bina brahmadika janibare nare. Only a person who has received the mercy of the Lord can understand. Without the Lord's mercy, even the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, cannot understand. Rajara tucha seva deki prabhur tushtaman seta prasade paila rahasya darshan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been very satisfied to see the king accept the menial task of sweeping the street. And for this humility, the king received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He could therefore observe the mystery of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities. The mystery of Lord Chaitanya's activities is described by Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur. Lord Jagannath was astonished to see the transcendental dancing and chanting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he stopped his car just to see the dancing. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then danced in such a mystical way that he pleased Lord Jagannath. The seer and the dancer were one and the same Supreme Person, but the Lord, being one and many at the same time, was exhibiting the variegatedness of his pastimes. This is the meaning behind his mysterious exhibition. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the king could understand how the two of them were enjoying each other's activities. Another mysterious exhibition was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's simultaneous presence in 7 groups. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the king could understand that also. So there were 7 groups of singers, and Mahaprabhu, by his mystic potency, appeared in every group. So, but persons in each group thought that Mahaprabhu is in my group alone. But those persons who were supremely enlightened, they could see the Lord's mystic potency that he's in all 7 groups. Now it's interesting because Mahaprabhu refused to meet with the king, but at the same time, the king was one of the fortunate persons who could see Mahaprabhu's presence in all the groups. And it is said that the king, when he took the menial position of sweeping the street before the Ratha-yatra car, he had earned Mahaprabhu's mercy. And therefore Mahaprabhu allowed the king to be able to see his confidential pastimes. Sakshatina deyadeka paroke ta doya te bujite pare Chaitanya Chandra Maya. Although the king had been refused an interview, he was indirectly bestowed causeless mercy. Who can understand the internal potency of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was playing the part of world teacher, he did not agree to see the king because a king is a mundane person, interested in money and women. Indeed, the very word king suggests one who is always surrounded by money and women. As a sannyasi, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was afraid of both money and women. The very word king is repugnant to one who is in the renounced order of life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refused to see the king, but indirectly, by the Lord's causeless mercy, the king was able to understand the Lord's mysterious activities. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities were exhibited sometimes to reveal him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and sometimes to show him as a devotee. Both kinds of activities are mysterious and appreciated only by pure devotees. Sarvabhauma Kashi Mishra Dui Mahashai Rajare Prashada Deki Hoila Vishmoy. When the two great personalities, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Kashi Mishra, saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy upon the king, they were astonished. E Madhya-lila Prabhu Koila Katakan Apane Gayena Nachana Nijabhaktagan. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his pastimes for some time in this way. He personally sang and induced his personal associates to dance. Kabu ek murti kabu hanabahu murti karya anurupa prabhu prakashaye shakti. According to his need, the Lord sometimes exhibited one form and sometimes many. This was being executed by his internal potency. Lila Veshe Prabhur Nahi Nijanu Sandana Icha Jani Lila Shakti Kore Samadana. Indeed, the personality of God had forgot himself in the course of his transcendental pastimes. But his internal potency, Lila Shakti, knowing the intentions of the Lord, made all arrangements. Purbe Jaiche Rasari Lila Koila Brindavane Alokika Lila Gora Koila Kane Kane. Just as Lord Sri Krishna formerly performed the Rasa-lila dance and other pastimes at Vrindavan, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed uncommon pastimes moment after moment. Bhaktagan Anubhave Nahi Janayan Shri Bhagavata Tara Tahate Praman. So, Purve Jaiche Rasadi Lila Koila Brindavane Alukika Lila Gora Koila Kane Kane Bhaktagan Anubhave Nahi Janayan Shri Bhagavata Shastra Tate Brahman. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing before the Ratha-yatra car could be perceived only by pure devotees. Others could not understand. Descriptions of Lord Krishna's uncommon dancing can be found in the revealed scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam. E Mata Mahaprabhu Korinatya Range Vashaila Sablok Primera Tarange. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced in great jubilation and inundated all the people with waves of ecstatic love. E Mata Hoila Kaner Rate Arohan Tar Age Prabhu Nachaila Bhaktagan. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mounted his car, and Lord Jagannath mounted his car, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inspired all his devotees to dance in front of it. Age Shuna Jagannath Gundicha Gaman Tara Age Prabhu Jaiche Korila Nartan. Now please hear about Lord Jagannath's going to the Gundicha temple while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced before the Rath car. Emata Kirtana Prabhu Korila Katakan Apana Udyoge Nachaila Bhaktagan. The Lord performed kirtan for some time and through his own endeavor inspired all the devotees to dance. Apane anachite jabe prabhur manahoila shata sampradaya tabe ekatra korela. When the Lord himself wanted to dance, all 7 groups combined together. Udandanati Prabhur Jabe Hoilaman Swaruper Sange Dila A Nabajan. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired to jump high while dancing, he placed these 9 people in the charge of Swarup Damodar. Edasa Jan Prabhur Sange Gaya Dhyai Arasab Sampradaya Charidike Gai. These devotees, Swarup Damodar and the devotees in his charge, sang along with the Lord, and they also ran beside him. All the other groups of men also sang. Dandavat Kore Prabhu Jade Dui Hat Urdwa Muke Stute Kore Deke Jagannath. Offering obeisances to the Lord with folded hands, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu raised his face toward Jagannath and prayed as follows. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanetaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Krishna, who is a worshipable deity for all Brahminical men, who is a well-wisher of cows and Brahmins, and who is always benefiting the whole world. I offer my repeated obeisances to the personality of Godhead known as Krishna and Govinda. Jayati Jayati Deva Devaki Nandana Osho Jayati Jayati Krishna Vrishni Vamsha Pradipa Jayati Jayati Mega Shamala Komalanka Jayati Jayati Prativi Bara Nasho Mukundaha. All glories unto the personality of Godhead, who is known as the son of Devaki. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as the light of the dynasty of Vrishni. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose bodily luster is like that of a new cloud, and whose body is as soft as a lotus flower. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appeared on this planet to deliver the world from the burden of demons, and who can offer liberation to everyone. Jayati Jana Nivaso Devaki Janmavaro Yaduvara Parishat Svardorbir Ashan Adharmam Stira Chara Vrijunu Stira Chara Vrijina Na Susmita Srimukena Vrajapura Vanitanam Vardayan Kamadevan. Lord Shri Krishna is he who is known as Jananivas, the ultimate resort of all living entities, and who is also known as Devaki Nandana or Yashoda Nandana, the son of Devaki and Yashoda. He is the guide of the Yadu dynasty, and with his mighty arms he kills everything inauspicious, as well as every man who is impious. By his presence he desires all things. By his presence he destroys all things inauspicious for all living entities, moving and inert. His blissful, smiling face always increases the lusty desires of the gopis of Vrindavan. May he be all glorious and happy. Naham vipro na cha narapatir napi vaisho na shudro. Naham varni na cha griyapatir na vanasto yatir va. Kintu prodyan nikila paramananda paramamritabner gopi bartu parakamalayor dashanudasha. I'm not a Brahmin, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Vaishya or a Shudra, nor am I a Brahmacharya, a householder, a vanaprastha or a sannyasi. I identify myself only as a servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, the annihilator of the gopis. He is like an ocean of nectar, and he is a cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. Etaparim punarapi korela praman yada hate bhaktagan bande bhagavan. Having recited all these verses from scripture, the Lord again offered his obeisances, and all the devotees with folded hands also offered prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Udanda Nritya Prabhu Koriya Hunkar Chakra Brahme Jaiche Alata Akar. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, roaring like thunder and moving in a circle like a wheel, he appeared like a circling firebrand. So, you have seen a circling firebrand when something is red hot or wood is burning and it's twirled in a fire. It looks like a circle firebrand. So this is what it's saying. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, roaring like thunder and moving in a circle like a wheel, he appeared like a circling firebrand. If a burning cinder of a firebrand is whirled about very swiftly, it gives the appearance of a circle of fire. This is called a latakar or a lata chakra, a firebrand circle. This whole circle is not actually made of fire, but is a single fire in motion. Similarly, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a single personality, but when he danced and jumped high in a circle, he appeared like the Alata Chakra. Nritya Prabhu Jaha Pare Paratham Shashagara Shailam Mahi Kore Talamao. Wherever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stepped while dancing, the whole earth with its hills and seas appeared to tilt. Stamba, Sveda, Pulaka, Ashru, Kampa, Vaivarnya, Nanabhave, Vivashata, Garva, Harsha, Danya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced, he displayed various blissful transcendental changes in his body. Sometimes he appeared as though stunned. Sometimes the hairs of his body stood on end. Sometimes he perspired, cried, trembled, and changed color. And sometimes he exhibited symptoms of helplessness, pride, exuberance, and humility. Achara ganapare bhume garejai Suvarna parvata jaishe bhumete lotai. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell down with a crash while dancing, he would roll on the ground. At such times it appeared that a golden mountain was rolling on the ground. So Srila Bhakti Srila Goswami Maharaj talks about this. Here it says, when Mahaprabhu fell down with a crash while dancing, he would roll on the ground. At such times it appeared that a golden mountain was rolling on the ground. So that's one example of a golden mountain rolling on the ground to show what Mahaprabhu's dancing was like. But Srila Sridhar Maharaj comments that he showed a little more movement even when he compared the ecstatic to a golden volcano spewing lava. And Guru Maharaj says, is there some relationship between the word lava and love? They're not related, but Guru Maharaj comments is lava like love. So Mahaprabhu is described by Krishnadas Kaviraj as a golden volcano rolling on the ground, but Srila Sridhar Maharaj describes Mahaprabhu as like Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, he describes Mahaprabhu as a golden mountain rolling on the ground. But Srila Sridhar Maharaj describes Mahaprabhu as a golden volcano spewing lava, which is like love, and that's the Sikshastika in all directions. Nityananda Prabhu Dui Hata Prasarya Prabhure Darite Chahe Asha Patadana. Nityananda Prabhu would stretch out his two hands and try to catch the Lord when he was running here and there. So Mahaprabhu would run, and sometimes Nityananda would try to catch Mahaprabhu to keep him from crashing to the ground. Prabhu Pache Buli Acharya Korea Hunkar Hari Bola Bole Bar Bar. Advaita Acharya would walk behind the Lord and loudly chant Haribo, Haribo again and again. Loka Nivarite Hoila Teen Mandala Pratama Mandale Nityananda Mahabala. Just to check the crowds from coming too near the Lord, the devotees formed three circles. The first circle was guided by Nityananda Prabhu, who was Balaram himself, the possessor of great strength. Kashishvara, Govindade, Jatabhaktagan, Hatahati, Kore, Hoila, Dvitiya, Avaran. All the devotees headed by Kashishvara and Govinda linked hands and formed a second circle around the Lord. So Govinda was a disciple of Ishwara Puri, and he was sent to take care of Mahaprabhu and to serve him. Mahaprabhu was reluctant to take service from his god brother, but because Govinda had been ordered by Mahaprabhu's spiritual master, and Govinda's spiritual master Ishwara Puri, Mahaprabhu accepted his service. And he accepted the service of Kashishvar. Kashishvar he was strong, and he would keep crowds from pressing too much against Mahaprabhu. Kashishvar, I don't know, those who know him, we can compare Kashishvar a little like Aravinda Lochan. He's very powerful. Good. But I think more that Aravinda Lochan during the time of Govinda Maharaj, he would be able to keep people from bothering Govinda Maharaj. Tahire Prataparudra Loya Patragan Mandala Hoya Kore Lokanivaran. Maharaj Prataparudra and his personal assistants formed a third circle around the two inner circles just to check the crowds from coming too near. So all these three circles. First, The first circle was guided by Nityananda Prabhu to keep people from getting too close and pushing on Mahaprabhu. The second circle was consisting of Kashishvar and Govinda and others linking hands. And then the third circle was Maharaj Prataparudra and his personal associates. They formed a third circle around the two inner circles just to check the crowds from coming too near. So we were in Ratha-yatra and we saw that the police, they had like sticks to keep people from getting too close to the cars or getting into danger near the wheels. So they would push people with the sticks to keep them away. Hari Chandaner Skande Hashta Alambiya Prabhora Nrityadeke Raja Avishtahoya. With his hands on the shoulders of Hari Chandan, King Prataparudra could see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing, and the king felt great ecstasy. Hinakale Srivas Premavishtaman Rajarage Rahe Deke Prabhuranartan. While the king beheld the dancing, Srivas Thakur, standing in front of him, became ecstatic as he saw the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rajar Age Harichandan Deke Srinivas Haste Tare Sparshikohe How Ekpash. Singh Srivas Thakur, standing before the king, Harichandan touched Srivas with his hand and requested him to step aside. So Srivas Thakur is watching Mahaprabhu and he is in ecstasy. But the king is watching with Harichandan serving the king, and Srivas Thakur is getting in front of the king, so the king is trying to see Mahaprabhu also, but Srivas Thakur is in ecstasy watching. So Harichandan touched Srivas and tried to get him out of the way. Nrityaveshe Srivas Kichui Nanchane Bar Tele Teho Kroda Hoila Mane. Absorbed in watching Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dance, Srivas Thakur could not understand why he was being touched and pushed. After he was pushed again and again, he became angry. Chapara Maria Tare Koila Nibaran Chapara Kana Kruda Hoila Harichandan. Srivas Thakur slapped Harichandan to stop him from pushing him. In turn, this made Harichandan angry. Kruda Haya Tare Kichu Chahe Balibare Apane Prataparudra Nivari Latare. As the angered Harichandan was about to speak to Srivas Thakur, Prataparudra Maharaj personally stopped him. Bhagavan Tumi Ihara Hastu Sparsha Paila Amara Bhagyanahi Tumi Kritartha Hoila. King Prataparudra said, "You are very fortunate, for you have been graced by the touch of Srivas Thakur. I'm not so fortunate. You should feel obliged to him." Prabhur Nritya Deki Loke Hoila Chamatkar Anya Chuk Jagannath Nandapar. Everyone was astonished by the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and even Lord Jagannath became extremely happy to see him. Ratha stira koila age nakore gaman animisha netre kore nritya dararshan. The car came to a complete standstill and remained immobile, while Lord Jagannath, with unblinking eyes, watched the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Subhadra Balaramer Ridaye Ulas Nritideki Duijanar Shri Muketehas. goddess of fortune Subhadra and Lord Balaram both felt great happiness and ecstasy within their hearts. Indeed, they were seen smiling at the dancing. Udanda Nritya Prabhur Adbhuta Bikar Ashta Sattvika Bhava Udaya Hoy Samakal. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, 8 wonderful transformations indicative of divine ecstasy were seen in his body. All these symptoms were visible simultaneously. Mam Shavrana Samaroma Brinda Pulakita Simulera Brikajena Kantaka Veshtita. His skin erupted with goose pimples, and the hairs of his body stood on end. His body resembled the simile, silk cotton tree, all covered with thorns, because his hairs are all standing on end, and he has like goosebumps. Where's boy? So he looks like this silk cotton tree, all covered with thorns. Ek dantera kampa dekite lage bai, loke jane danda sab kashya parai. Indeed, the people became afraid just to see his teeth chatter, and even thought that his teeth would fall out, because all his teeth become loosened and they're chattering, and Mahaprabhu was in so much ecstasy that people were even afraid his teeth will fall out. Sarvange prasveda chute tate ratogam jajagaga gadgada vachan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's whole body flowed with perspiration and at the same time oozed blood. He made the sounds jajagaga in a voice choked with ecstasy. So Mahaprabhu was sweating, and even some from his pores are coming blood, and Mahaprabhu is so much ecstasy, can't even speak. He's saying Jajagaga. This means Jagannath. He's saying Jagannath, but he just says Jajagaga. Jalayantra Darajaiche. Jalayantra Darajaiche Bahe Ashrujal Ashapashe Lokajata Bijila Sukha Sakal Jalayantra Darajaiche Bahe Ashrujal Ashtapashe Lokajat Bijila Sakal. Tears came forcefully from the eyes of the Lord as if from a syringe, and all the people surrounding him became wet. Dehokanti Boravarna Dekiye Aruna Kabukanti Dekijena Malika Pushpa Sama. Everyone saw the complexion of his body change from white to pink, so that his luster resembled that of the Malika flower. Kabu Stamba Kabu Prabhu Bhumete Lotai Shuska Kashta Samapara Hastana Chalai. Sometimes he appeared stunned, and sometimes he rolled on the ground. Indeed, sometimes his legs and hands became as hard as dry wood, and he did not move. Kabu Bhume Pade Kabu Swasa Hoy Hina Jahadeki Bhaktaganer Prana Hoy Kina. When the Lord fell to the ground, sometimes his breathing almost stopped. When the devotees saw this, their lives also became very feeble. Kabu Netre Nashaya Jala Muke Pare Fena Amritera Dara Chandra Bimbe Mahijena. Water flowed from his eyes and sometimes through his nostrils, and foam fell from his mouth. These flowings appeared to be torrents of nectar descending from the moon. Sri Fena Loya Shubhananda Karapan Krishna Prema Rasikate Ho Mahabhagyavan. The foam that fell from the mouth of Mahaprabhu was taken and drunk by Shubhananda because he was very fortunate and expert in relishing the mellow of ecstatic love of Krishna. Emata Tandava Nritya Koila Katakan Bhava Visheshe Prabhur Praveshi Laman. Although Mahaprabhu had performed his devastating dance for some time, after Mahaprabhu had performed his devastating dance for some time, his mind entered into a mood of ecstatic love. Tandava Nritya Chari Swarupere Agyadila Hridaya Janiya Sarup Gaite Lagila. After abandoning the dancing of the Lord, the Lord ordered Swarup Damodar to sing. Understanding his mind, Swarup Damodar began to sing as follows. Seta Parana Nata Painu Jahalagi Marana Dahane Jorigenu. Now I have gained the Lord of my life, in the absence of whom I was being burned by Cupid and was withering away. This song refers to Srimati Radharani's meeting with Krishna at the holy place of Kurukshetra, where Lord Sri Krishna and his brother and sister came to visit when there was a solar eclipse. It is a song of separation from Krishna. When Radharani met Krishna at Kurukshetra, she remembered his intimate association in Vrindavan, and she thought, now I have gained the Lord of my life. In his absence, I was being burned by the arrow of Cupid, and thus I was withering away. Now I have my life again. So that Seta Parama Seta Parana Nata Painu Jahalage Marana Dahane Jurigenu. Now I have gained the Lord of my life, in the absence of whom I was being burned by Cupid and was withering away. E Duya Uchai Sware Gaya Damodar Anande Madhura Nritya Koranishwar. When this refrain was loudly sung by Swarup Damodar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again began rhythmically dancing in transcendental bliss. Dhiri Dhiri Jagannatha Korana Gaman Againritya Kore Chalena Suchera Nandan. The car of Lord Jagannath began to move slowly, while the son of Mother Sachi went ahead and danced in front. Jagannatha Netra Diya Savinache Gai Kirtaniya Saha Prabhu Pache Pache Jai. While dancing and singing, all the devotees in front of Lord Jagannath kept their eyes on him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the end of the procession with the Sankirtan performers. Jagannath Magna Prabhur Nayana Hridoy Shri Hasta Juge Kore Gitara Abhinoy. His eyes and mind fully absorbed in Lord Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to play the drum of the song with his two arms. Gorajari Pache Chale Shama Hoy Stire Gorage Chale Shama Chale Dire Dire. When Mahaprabhu was dramatically enacting the song, he would sometimes fall behind in the procession. At such times, Lord Jagannath his car would come to a standstill. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again went forward, Lord Jagannath's car would slowly start again. E Mata Gora Shame Dohe Tela Teli Squarate Shama Mere Rocky Gora Mahaboli. Thus there was a sort of competition between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath in seeing who would lead. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strong that he made Lord Jagannath wait in his car. Nachite nachite prabhura hoila bhavantar hastatuli shloka pade kore uchaishwar. When Mahaprabhu was dancing, his ecstasy changed. Raising his two arms, he began to recite the following verse in a loud voice. Yo Kumara Harasa Eva E Varas Ta Eva Chaitra Chapas Te Chonmilita Malati Suravaya Poda Kadambanila Sa Chaivasmi Tatapi Tatra Surata Vyapara Lila Vido Reva Rodasi Vedasi Taru Tale Cheta Samutkantate. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. So Mahaprabhu is singing this song during the Ratha-yatra. People cannot understand because, first of all, this song is sung by a woman. It's not sung by a man. It's sung by a woman. And Srila Govinda Maharaj has commented, that very personality who stole away my youth who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. Srila Govinda Maharaj says, actually the song says, that very personality who took or stole my youth. So that has a different meaning when a woman says that person who stole away my youth, means her first lover. So Mahaprabhu is singing like this, and singing from the point of view of a woman. And he's in Ratha-yatra. People cannot understand why he's singing like this. But Rupa Goswami could understand. Shloka Mahaprabhu Pare Bar Bar Swarup Bina Arta Kehona Janetar. This verse was recited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again, but for Swarup Damodar, no one could understand its meaning. I said Rupa Goswami because Rupa Goswami could understand, and he composed a parallel verse, which we'll get to. But for right now, I'm going to stop at this point. Tomorrow I'll continue. This is the Lord's dancing at Ratha-yatra. Okay, now we'll see. There's some water. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jarabaya Nama Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jarabaya Nama Jarabaya Marabaya Keshavaya Nama Jarabaya Marabaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shrimari Sudan Gopal Govinda Ram Sripad Sri Diva Gopala Bhatta Rasa Raghuna Sri Diva Gopala Bhatta Rasa Raghuna Nitai Gosai Kori Charana Bandha Nitai Gosai Kori Charana Bandha Jaoite Vijnana Shavishta Puran Jaoite Vijnana Shavishta Puran Nitai Gosai Jamui Charana Jai Gosai Jamui Charana Tasavara Pada Renu Mora Panchagram Tasavara Pada Renu Mora Panchagram Kader Chanana Sevi Bhakta Saneba Kader Chanana Sevi Bhakta Saneba Janame Janame More Abhilash Janame Janame More Abhilash Nitai Gosai Jabe Raja Koila Bas Nitai Gosai Jabe Raja Koila Bas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyash Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyash Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratam Udas Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratam Udas Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashta Tata Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Tilakneri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashta Tata Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashta Tata Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashtatara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namachar Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shat Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premsi Goa Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Vishwavarenya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Srinavadi Dham Ki Jai. Sri Ramayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Sri Kuladip Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Sham Kund Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.